So I'm using a different camera today. Hopefully, I don't think this camera's going to be better, but maybe it'll actually keep recording, and that's what I'm looking for. I don't necessarily have to have 4K on everything. So, hopefully this camera will do the trick. We'll see. If it does, it does it. We'll evaluate it. I'll evaluate it once we get done and everything today. I'm gonna run down to the storage unit and pick up my FTR. See how that does with, having a camera on my face and all that. I'll tell you what, motovlogging is not the easiest thing in the world to do, just simply because of the way everything's set up in this world. I gotta adjust this in my damn way. I don't know how well this is going to come through and how very it's all going to be like, but we're going to find out. I am way too fast on this road. It's 25-mile-an-hour speed limit. I don't want to be getting in troubles. I got to walk across. Let me get out your way. We'll see. I'm hoping this thing's angled up enough to where, you're not catching just the freaking handlebars. I did angle it up. It seems to be needing it more than the Insta360 did. Man, you're slow. What the fuck, dude? I could have pulled out 25 times by the time you got here. I don't even know why the hell I was waiting. I don't like pulling out when it's traffic like that, especially when I see a big break. And the reason is because people change lanes without signaling and all that stuff, so I try not to put myself in goddamn fucking bumps. See, this guy's gonna fucking change lanes. You can go ahead and do that. There's this freaking Charger's gonna do what Chargers do and charge. Watch out for the bus. The buses like to jump out. Come on, motherfuckers, come on, let's go. You drove the damn thing out of the way from Georgia, you can definitely fucking drive it down the road. Come on. Oh man, that is the goofiest car ever. They're really popular though, but God, I hate them. Really hate them. Oh. I might switch my helmets when I get over there to the storage unit also. The other helmet is this is a modular helmet, so I've got a boom microphone in here. And it's, it's kind of a tight fit. So, the other one's got like a little plant microphone that's velcroed, straight to the front and all that. It's got a lot more room in it. So maybe I'll sound better with that as opposed to this. Excuse me. I tried running the lavalier mic from the Insta360. Problem is, just don't pick up very well, and it has no noise canceling whatsoever. This thing may suck, but at least it's got noise canceling. I know I sound like a pilot. In some ways it's kind of cool, but it's not exactly my intent. Damn it, my beard is stuck on the freaking latch. There we go, that's better. A particular reason why you're going so fucking slow? Motorcycling these days and truck driving and everything else is exceedingly more dangerous now than it used to be. Just simply because people. I used to be against the cell phone bans. You know, banning handheld cell phones and all that stuff. You know, damn it. I used to be against that. I mean, only because, you know, it punishes people who are not a problem. You know, some people can multitask that way. I can't really. I mean, I don't mess around with cell phones while I'm driving. But some people can, and some people can, you know, do it just fine. The problem is, ever since it had become illegal, the only people who still do it are the ones who are really a problem, and there's a lot of those people out there. It seems like everybody you see driving like crap these days is holding a cell phone. And I used to just think they were drunks, you know, like way back in the old days. You know, I would chalk that up as being drunks or just dummies or whatever. But now it's just, you know, it's not so much drunks as much as it is, you know, people holding cell phones and just being a nuisance on the road. You really got to watch out for those people now. It wasn't so bad like that when I first started riding, but today it's a plague. And unfortunately, I don't think that's going to stop anytime soon. Hell, these days you got people falling asleep falling asleep driving down the road because they got these damn self-driving cars, and it's like, they don't completely drive themselves. You still need to be awake. But they're doing it anyway. Before I go jumping on a green light like that, I always like to look, make sure nothing's, you know, no cross traffic's coming. It's not a fail-safe, you know, complete fail-safe, but at least if you are aware of the cross traffic, you're much less likely to get T-boned in an accident about somebody running a red light. So, we're going to get on the interstate. Hopefully this scooter don't fall apart while I'm on the interstate, which I know it won't. It's fine. I'll be honest with you, I don't like riding the damn FTR on the interstate. It's got those knobby tires on it. You know, those kind of, you know, those stylized tires and everything, and it is screwy as shit when you get up about 60 miles an hour. Oh, it is bright. I got a front row low on my freaking sun visor. So, you get out here on the interstate and whatnot, and it starts squirming around in the back end. It just, you know, it feels like you're in a buffeting air zone behind like a truck or something like that, constantly. And to me, it's not a very comfortable feeling. I don't like it. So I don't really like riding on the interstate. This is not the same. This I can definitely ride on the interstate and have no issues. It's hot. It's hotter out here than it is on surface roads, though. Now what I'm doing driving down the road, I'm trying to look down the road, see what's going on ahead of me. And I knew what lane ended, I just didn't want to ride it off. But anyway, I try to look down the road, see what's going on ahead of me. See, I'm looking down there past the sign, I see that truck down there. And I'm looking around him and beyond it really, as far as I can see, to see what the hell's happening up ahead, because you know, if you have any information about that, a lot of times you can avoid, you know, sudden stops and slowdowns on the road. I'm also checking my mirrors. I don't have anybody to the right, so I'm checking my left mostly, but I'm checking my mirrors every few seconds. And these are all smooth system techniques. They're not things that I came up with. This stuff that I learned in truck driving. And, you know, they help everything. I mean, they help with every aspect of driving. You know, and then you learn that they're right. I mean, it's like traffic. If you stand on an overpass and you look down at traffic, you'll see the traffic, travels in packs. You know, there'll be clusters of cars here and clusters of cars there, and there'll be places in between where there aren't any cars. That's where I want to be. I want to be in the places in between. I do not want to be in the packs. The packs are where bad things happen. I mean, if you've ever watched a NASCAR race, you know that. You know exactly what the hell happens when people start driving in packs. So that's where I want to avoid. Well, I want to be by myself. Like right now, I'm kind of by myself. There's somebody behind me, but there's here comes a pack of cars that are coming up. They're going to catch up to me, but I can't help that. I don't really want to do speed limit. I think it's 65 out here, so I really don't want to do much more than that. I do try to protect my license as much as possible when I'm driving, no matter what I'm driving, because it is my livelihood. Maybe not forever, but at least for now anyway. So I got a pack that's passing me now. Well, it opens up a little bit. There's a little bit of space. Like I said, I want to be in that space. I want to be in that free zone to where I can concentrate on what I'm doing and not have to worry about what other people are doing. 90% of the time, the problem in traffic isn't necessarily what you're doing, it's what other people are doing. Because there are some real stupid-ass people here in the world that, for some reason, seem to think they need to get out on the interstates especially and drive around. I don't, I do wish that, somebody would come up with some solution to keep people off the roads, because most people don't need to be driving. If you're too busy worrying about what's on your cell phone or anything like that, and you're a piss-ass, 20-minute commute every day, then you really don't need to be commuting. And around here, I don't understand that we have this dynamic where you have people who work on one side of the water that live on another side of the water, and you have to drive through the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel or the Merrimack Tunnel, but mostly the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel to get to work or get home. I don't understand. There's nice places to live on both sides of the water. There's millionaire homes around here on the peninsula. There's millionaire homes over Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, whatnot. So stay the hell on your side of the water. Live where you work. I don't understand why you want to commute back and forth to work. I have to drive for a living. That's what I do. But if I had a local job and was working close to home, I wouldn't live within 10 miles of where I work. So I would find some place to do that. And I have always, when I did have jobs where I didn't have to go far, I'd always work in my own neighborhood. I did not care any bit about going in and driving. Like when I lived in Atlanta, I didn't want to drive to do Atlanta. I sure as hell didn't drive. I drive to the other side of Atlanta to go to work. It's just ridiculous. But people do that, and it's like, why? You're making your day longer. When you factor in your time at work, you have to factor in, your break time and your commute time and all that. So if you work an 8-hour day, you get an hour lunch, that's 9 hours, and then you got commute for an hour or more every single day to go to work and come home. You're talking about 11 hours period, 11 hours minimum of time away from home where you got to be at work. And it's just, to me, that's fuck that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it, and I don't know what anybody does. So, anyway, that's my rant over. Oh, look, there's a BMW. I know somebody who called him a pretentious douchebag. Not me, but I have a friend who has this thing about BMWs. I don't know why. And one day he saw a BMW with X5 or some one of those SUV things pulling a trailer that had a BMW ADV bike on it. He about lost his mind. He just called me, that's a pretentious douchebag. Whatever, So I make fun of him all the time about it. It's funny. It's just, little jokes that we do. What can Brown do for you? Looks like the fuel really has come down. Almost, it's 4.09 a gallon. That's not bad at all. Well, that's sad that I say 4.09 is not bad at all. It's not bad comparatively to what it was like 3 months ago. That's what I mean. 4.09 is still ridiculous. I mean, you know, the gas should not be any more than $3 a gallon. It should be $1 less than that right now. But, you know, you can take what you can get in this world, I guess. Oh! Get my legs up on these floorboards. Oh, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, I mean, maybe one of these days, I have been thinking about quitting driving a truck and going into something else. And like I said, I do have a lot of expertise, a lot of experience. I think I could be qualified as an expert, you know, driver at this point. I mean, you know, all the years, I've been driving essentially since I was 18 years old. I mean, professionally. I've been driving cars since I was like 14 years old, when I used to sneak my parents' car out, you know, when they weren't around. And, you know, but I got my first car when I was 15. I bought 3 cars before I was even old enough to drive. You know, so you know, driving has been something for me, you know, it's just been my whole life. I mean, I worked a lot in restaurants when I was younger, so, you know, aside from driving, you know, cooking would be, you know, a career that I've done, but mostly driving. I mean, before I drove a truck over the road, I drove sweeper trucks, I drove straight trucks delivering produce. You know, I did a lot of other, you know, non-CDL work before I got a CDL. And I basically got a CDL, you know, as young as I possibly could. I mean, I was 23, but, you know, no company would hire you to drive basically until you were 23 years old. So that's why I waited till then, you know, I found an opportunity. Schneider was, you know, offering me, you know, a sweetheart of a deal. I mean, you can't complain about getting free CDL training, no cost to you, and all you had to do was put in a year. You didn't even have to pay it back if you didn't work the whole year. You just had, you know, they had this thing called a covenant not to compete, which basically if you say you went and worked for them for 6 months after you got your training and all that, you weren't supposed to go to somebody else. But I mean, how the hell would they know? It's just it's like making an oath, you know. Some people are honest, some people aren't. But, you know, either way, I thought it was a pretty good deal. I went down to Charlotte and to the Schneider terminal down there. Had a good instructor. His name was Dave Tracy. I don't know if he's still around or not, but he was a really good instructor. And then did over the road with a guy named Mike May. You know, really good trainer and all that. And you know, that was 22 years ago, and you know, these people left an imprint on me because I mean, I still remember their names. I don't remember people's names all that much, so you know, that was you know, Schneider had some really good people at that time. I don't know what the situation is there now, but I really did feel like I got a good professional, above-board training regimen at Schneider School and all that. I've talked to some other people on how they got their CDLs, and man, I'm blown away. Like, I had a friend of mine, he said he got his from Coca-Cola. He didn't have to back up. Like, how do you get a CDL and not even have to back up? It's ridiculous. I mean, you basically had to do like a driver test. You would do a new company where you just basically drive around the block and make sure you can handle the vehicle. But, you know, it seems to me like, you know, backing on a CDL test should be, you know, like minimum. But, you know, I mean, I had to back up. I had to back up several different ways and all that. But, you know, whatever. Then I had another friend, he said he did in, what was it, M2, like a little smaller Freightliner with a pup trailer. I'm like, that's cheating too. Not only that, but he said the people that, you know, that trained him, the schools he went to, you know, they taught him all these little tricks, like you count, you count these numbers and da-da-da-da. I'm like, come on, man, that's just you stepping on the right mark. You know, that's not really learning how to drive a truck. It's not learning, you know, that's not becoming familiar and learning how to actually operate the equipment with some sort of competence, you know, like, so I'm really kind of, you know, like, I was surprised by that. We just had that conversation the other day, too. I was really surprised by that, you know, how basic some truck driving schools are, and, you know, and the programs are and whatnot, you know, because what I had to go through was, you know, it wasn't intense or anything. It was just thorough and professional. You know, we had a lot of classroom work. We had a lot of, you know, outside work. I mean, they taught us how, you know, how to use the fifth wheel. They taught us how to, dolly the trailers down, unhook, hook, and how the airlines were hooked up and all that stuff. They didn't skip over anything. And I think it's the biggest reason was because we were going to be operating their equipment after we got out of their school. So we didn't want us going out there and acting stupid. We're being completely lost and screwing things up and all that. So I appreciate it. I appreciate Schneider for what they did for me. We're part on great terms and whatnot. That's another story, but as far as their school goes, I can't say nothing bad about it, and I don't know if they still do schools and all that, but if they don't, they should, because they really had a good program, and it's really surprising to me, some of the horrible negative experiences, well, not negative, but like, lazy ways that some people are treating doing trucking school and all that. I have a feeling this Dodge is going to jump out in a moment. I mean, he's riding that damn truck's ass. I don't like that. Well, she is. Either way, there ain't no reason to be that damn close to somebody. I think she backed off now, but she was pretty bad. Anyway, so yeah, I believe at this point I could be considered to be an expert driver. I see things, I know things. I've done so much in my life, and I've seen so much that I'm just I hate to toot my own horn. I'm not a conceited person. I'm really not, and it feels weird to sit there and just talk myself up. That's what I hate about job applications or resumes. Well, tell me 5 good things about yourself. What are your strengths? Hey, come on, man. That's hard to do for somebody who's got a little bit of humility and a humble person and whatnot. It's easy to do for somebody who's a fucking liar, who's got who's full of themselves. Is that the person you want to hire? I'm glad I don't have to worry about job interviews and stuff anymore. I interview the company that I want to go to. It ain't the other way around. That's one good thing about trucking is that you really don't have to, go there and beg for a job like you do, in the private sector for the most part, other parts of the private sector anyway. And nobody wants to wave at me on a scooter. I don't know why. This thing looks like a big old bike. It's not like, you can't tell it's a scooter till you get right up on it, because of course they're riding Harley, so they probably, don't ride at anything that's got plastic on it. And fuck that place, man. I ain't gonna talk about it. I wasn't happy with the deals they tried to make me. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I don't know what's up with these damn speed bumps in the damn road, man. Yorktown needs to fix this shit. See all these big bumps. Damn it. Probably ain't nothing in a car, but man, in a motorcycle is a little bit of a, I don't want everything all rattled in here. I'm not trying to go off-road. There's another one. Here goes more. I just stopped watching Uncle Roger videos. I'm saying hi-ya all the time, like it's my word. Oh, here's my turn. Let's hope somebody doesn't rear end me. And don't slip in the damn dirt here. I don't like turning here. Oh shit, somebody's coming out. Let me go ahead and pull off to the side here so they can get by. The way they got this set up is really stupid. I'm just gonna go on in. I don't need to put my damn code in. This blind corners in here are a little crazy. They really need, I'll turn signal still on. They really need some mirrors in here to help you to get around, because I really don't want to hit nothing or nobody. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end this here, and I'll restart it once I get on the FTR.